Hello! I have been very busy with filming. I hope that I get to all the editing of these videos. If you are new to my channel, my name is Leora. If you are not new to my channel, welcome back. Today's episode is the 2020 Mid-Year Freakout Book Tag. So guys, I know that everyone is doing this tag and it's all over booktube, but I just love these prompts and this gave me a great opportunity to also review the books that I read in 2020, so I really hope you enjoy. I'm just gonna jump straight into the prompts. The first prompt is the best book that you have read so far, and for me it is also the very first book I read in 2020, and I didn't even have to think about one. It is The Confession by Jessie Burton. This was my first Jessie Burton. I gave this book 5 stars, and it also is on my Goodreads tagged shelf of books that touched my soul. Now, if you have not read this book is about Rose. Rose is in her, I think, late 20s, early 30s, and her life is a bit of a mess. She is lost and she makes bad decisions and she lets her boyfriend make bad decisions, and she is just really struggling through life. Rose's mother left when she was very little. She never knew her mom. Her dad doesn't want to tell her anything about her mom. Rose decides to go looking for her real mother. She meets a woman named Constance, and Rose realizes that Constance might have the answers that she is looking for, but she doesn't tell Constance who she is. This book was so real. It really touched my heart. It gave me so many feelings. And yes, like I said, she makes bad decisions, but in the circumstances that she's in, you sort of have a lot of empathy for her because she feels like she cannot move on with her life until she has the answers about her mother. The second prompt is the best sequel that you've read this year, and for me it is A Gathering of Shadows, or as I like to call it, A Gathering of Light by V.E. Schwab. Now, this is my discovery of V.E. Schwab. I mean, if you've read V.E. Schwab and you do not like V.E. Schwab, you need to tell me why you don't like V.E. Schwab, because I need to know, because you and I need to have a little heart to heart. Okay, I love these characters. I adore these characters. I want to be these characters. I want to meet these characters. And Carl is my new book boyfriend. I'm sorry, Reese. It had to happen at some point. I will always love you, but it's going to be me and Carl from now on going forward. The third prompt is new releases that you haven't read but that you still want to. So I assume that this specific prompt is new releases that have already been released up until this point in the year, and that you haven't gotten to. So I actually have 2 books. I have got The Mercies by Kieran Millwood Hargrave, and this is actually on my July TBR. This is based on actual events. It is the events of the Wardo Storm and the 1621 witch trials. I've read Deathless Girls by Kieran, and I really think her writing is phenomenal. The second book that I chose for this prompt is Aurora Burning by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I think that they are on a personal mission to ruin my life with sci-fi, because I cannot get enough of these books. I just finished Obsidio. I'm broken and I'm so devastated. I don't know what to do. The only thing that I think that I can do now is read Aurora Burning to give me my Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff fix, because I did love Aurora Cycle. So yes, those are the 2 books for this prompt. I know I'm being very dramatic today. The next prompt is the biggest disappointment this year. And this was really the biggest disappointment for me. It is The Astonishing Color of After by Emily X.R. Pan. Now, I did a buddy read of this book with Luzanne, Tams, and Tristan, and I had so many expectations for this book. Like, this book has won so many awards and accolades. The reviews are amazing. The ratings on Goodreads is like through the roof, and I could not wait to pick up this book, and I was just devastatingly disappointed. I didn't get it. I'm sorry, I did not get it. It's disjointed, there's no flow, it's confusing, the characters do not make sense, the characters are not relatable. I couldn't really find any representation in the book. The plot didn't, like I said, the plot didn't flow for me. It just was all over the place, and like, then we're here and then we're there, and then we're like smoke and mirrors and reincarnation, but not really. And I was just like, what? No, I finished it. I did finish it because I kept thinking it's gonna get better, just keep going at it. It didn't get any better. The next prompt is the biggest surprise. Now, I almost want to say, I'm sure you know what I'm going to choose, but I'm going to tell you anyway. It is the Illuminae Files by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Now, let me start off by saying this is not just the biggest surprise in 2020. This is the biggest surprise in my whole reading life. Let's just take a moment and be all dramatic about it. I am obsessed with this series. I am obsessed. I am messaging every single South African local business asking them to make merch for this series, because in South Africa there is not enough merch for this awesome series. I love it. I absolutely adore these books. These books I will never get rid of, and I will probably reread them at some point. Right now, I am still recovering from Obsidio. I would have never picked up these books if it wasn't for Bookstagram, ever. It's not books that I would have even looked at twice. I've seen them on Bookstagram, and I think, okay, yo, it sounds weird. I don't read sci-fi. I'm not gonna like it. And Sandra is just like, dude, you have to read it. And I'm like, I'm not gonna. And she's like, dude, come back and talk to me. Let's put our friendship on hold. We can be friends again when you read the series. Okay, I'm just kidding. She didn't really say that. She'll never say that. But I don't have the words to describe how much I love this series. It's like my heart. I'm so glad that I picked it up. The next prompt is favorite new author, and that is V.E. Schwab. I have never read V.E. Schwab before 2020. I picked up a darker shade of magic. I almost like said a gathering of magic again. Wow, okay, let's just go with it. The reason I started reading it because Illuminae announced their A Darker Shade of Magic special edition book box. Do you have deja vu that I am picking up books based on book subscription boxes because I need to know if I want the book subscription box or not? So I picked it up and I fell in love with it, and I almost didn't get the book subscription box because I loved it so much that I forgot that there was a book subscription box for it, or a special edition book subscription box for it. Yes, I'm pleasantly surprised. I have bought more V.E. Schwab that I haven't read yet, but she is now an auto-buy author for me. The next prompt is newest fictional crush, and it is our sassy character Cat from Aurora Rising. Now, I have the biggest girl crush on Cat. She is feisty, she is sassy, and I am low-key jealous of her hairstyle. I had an image of her in my mind when I started reading the book, and then I searched fan art, and the image that I had in my mind and the fan art is like the same thing. I love this character. I love that she is a tomboy, but that she still loves this boy that she's known her whole life. And if I say anything more, I'm just going to give the book away or the relationship away. But I love her, and just forget about him, Kat. Just, I'll love you. Just, we can run off into space together, and I am here for Kat. The next prompt is new favorite character. It would have to be Ella Malakoff from Gemini. Ella Malakoff is our young hacker slash computer wizard genius little spider. Now this girl knows her ish when it comes to computers. Like, she gives Aiden a run for his money. Her quips and her dialogue and her conversation, I haven't read anything more perfect than this character. The next prompt is book that made you cry. It would have to be The Boy Who Steals Houses by Paper Fury, aka CG Drews, aka Kate on Bookstagram. I did a buddy read of The Boy Who Steals Houses with Tabs, Suzanne and Meredith. This was a hard read, and I'm gonna be very honest with you, at the beginning of this book I was about to DNF it, and I just like, because it was a recent read, and with everything going on in the world, it was just so heavy, and I just didn't feel like I had the mental strength to continue reading this book, because it really just knocks you off your feet. And I continued reading, and I want to like push this book into everyone's hands and say, read it, read it, read it, read it, read it. Everyone should read this book. It is absolutely beautiful. It follows Sam and Avery. There is a mental disability representation in this book. Sam and Avery are brothers. They are homeless. They basically steal houses just to have a place to live. And it is actually a Goldilocks retelling, a modern Goldilocks fairy tale. Sorry, I dropped my tissue. Let me get my tissue. Sorry. And Sam meets Moxie, and he falls head over heels in love with Moxie. Now, the premise of the story is the boy that steals houses does not get the girl. He goes to jail. Moxie just changes his whole life. She is like this whirlwind personality that throws his whole life upside down, and I was there for all of it. It's an amazing book. The writing is absolutely phenomenal. The next prompt is a book that made you happy. There's a lot of books that make me happy, so I thought to myself, what book would I reread? And yes, it is the Illuminae Files. The next prompt is the most beautiful book that you bought or have received this year. I got this copy of The Girl and the Stars by Mark Lawrence in my book only Illuminae Crate subscription. Sigh! Illuminae Crate book only subscription book is The Girl and the Stars by Mark Lawrence. The next prompt is, what book do you still want to read before the end of the year? For this prompt, I have added 2 books again. The first one is A Conjuring of Light. See, it's A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab, because I need to finish this trilogy. And then I also really want to read Saga by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. Now, this is the first 3 volumes. It is a series of graphic novels. It is set in space, because apparently I read sci-fi now. And I actually got this a while back, and now I finally added to my August TBR for the upcoming G from Book Roast's readathon. It's quite chunky, and it will be also my first graphic novel. So I'm very excited about that. So that is all my books for the 2020 Mid-Year Freakout. Let me know if you've read any of these books. Let me know if you also still want to read any of these books. I would love to chat to you in the comments below. If you've liked this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more of my upcoming videos, click on that subscribe button and the bell button, and I will chat to you soon, book lovers. Bye!